Welcome to the Post 2 frequency system, user Canis Ru. Please enter action into prompt. Play audio file recording 8.wave. Playing audio file now.
Hello listeners, this is ASU Radio with your host, Tawny Jackson. I know I said in the last episode that this week I was going to be telling you all about my friend June as a memorial to her, and that will come eventually. But this week I need to talk about something else that's kind of important. I don't know any easy way to say this, so I'll just flat out state it. This week I was threatened. I'm being threatened, and David is too. I thought that, after the hell of a year I just had, I thought that maybe this year I could catch a break. But no, this week has put me closer to the edge than I have been in a long while. And you want to know what I'm being threatened about? My research project, of all things. Some damn low-grade student got pissed that I snagged a good project topic early and thought that maybe he could get me to drop the topic by threatening me anonymously. What an asshole. It was probably Devin. I hate Devin. And Devin hates me too. And you know what? The school's not taking it seriously. When I showed them the note in my trashed cabin room, they thought it was some dumb prank. Some attempt on my part to get me a new cabin assignment. Which is apparently something people have done before. I'm not actually that surprised by this info, but that's completely besides the point. What does surprise me is that the school is refusing to investigate into this, saying that even if I wasn't the one who did this, there's nothing that they can do because there was no evidence of who did it. No cameras were located on my side of the cabin, and that they don't want to waste resources on something that was probably just a harmless prank. I mean, I doubt if it was Devin that he would actually try and do any harm to me, but even so, my room was broken into, my personal belongings were thrown all over the place, and my notebook was damaged, torn to shreds. That doesn't sound like some harmless prank. All they did give me was a cheap combination lock so I could properly lock up my valuables. Like it was my fault that my stuff was vandalized. You know what? I'm willing to bet they don't want to do anything because they don't want the investigators to hear about it and potentially make them want to come back to campus. I'm honestly tempted to call the number on the card that one agent gave me in case of emergencies and tell them exactly what happened. But I won't. I don't want to see these people back here either. They make everyone really uncomfortable, and I've already done enough interviews for one lifetime. But I'm not going to take this harassment sitting down, and neither is David. He was threatened too. Though they didn't break into his room, they did nail a note to his door saying the same thing that was scrawled on the few pages left in my torn notebook. They both said something like, "Stay away from the gold beast anew or Sintis Me Too will follow you." Like, seriously? Good job with the Latin Google Translate there, buddy. Real scary. Ooh, feel fear, Sintis Me Too. Like, that's the best they could come up with? But like I said, if the school's not going to do anything about it, we will. I'm installing a camera in my room, and I might be moving my research items to somewhere more secure, so I won't have another month's worth of writing ruined by some jackass who got pissed I got something he wanted. And, well, David went the extra mile and went and bought a defense bat. Not that he actually plans on using it, but if someone tries to break in, I bet they'd be really intimidated by something like that. He says I should get one too, but I don't think I will. I don't really like weapons. I think I'm too clumsy for them. Might mess up and accidentally hurt myself or someone else. The only thing I do carry is a small knife, and that's not because I want to, but because they made me promise I would keep it on me, as a just sort of in-case item. I've never had to use it, thank God, but Michael was always quite insistent that I keep it on me when out, and from when he first gave it to me a really long time ago. It was a present from him, and, well, I never broke my promise, and I don't plan to, so it stays on me. It is a really nice knife, and antique, actually, which I don't really know how old it is, though. It's quite special to me, even more so now. It's sort of like, even though he can't be with me right now to protect me, at least I can keep his gift close by as a different sort of protection. He even taught me how to use it, with my parents' permission, of course. He taught me a lot of things for protection, actually, when I was younger, like how to start fires and make shelters and how to protect myself from the wild world out there. He said that he just wanted to make sure that I could protect myself in case of my parents or him not being around to do it themselves. I always thought it was kind of weird, but was told by my parents just to humor him and listen to what he said. My parents never really pried too much, but they think he did it because he lost someone he loved in a bad way, and that I maybe reminded him of them. I know that he was married at one time, maybe with kids, but that they weren't around anymore, and, well, I can assume as much from that. Once I figured that out, I wasn't bothered by his lessons anymore, and I took them to heart. And that's why I keep my promise. Because I think maybe he knows a little more than me, and that if he says I needed to know something, then it was important that I do exactly that and put it to memory. I never really actually had to use any of his lessons so far in my life, and I hope I don't have to ever. But with the way things are going these days, with these threats, well, let's just say I'm prepared to defend myself and David. He wouldn't want us to take this sort of treatment without even a fight. I just wish he was here to help is all. There's been no new updates from the hospital he's at. No change at all. Not surprising, but I guess no news is good news. At least he's not getting worse. But he's not getting better either. The worst part with him is that it's almost like there's no closure. Timothy, June, they had funerals. There were no bodies, but I knew without a shadow of a doubt that they were dead, and that I would have to move on without them. But Michael, he's stuck there. And because he's stuck, I'm stuck too. I can't choose to move on because, well, there's a chance he may come back, but it's painful because there's no guarantee. And it seems like I'm the only one who still cares. So if I move on, will there be anyone left for him if he ever does come back? I can't move on because it feels like abandoning him, even if there is little chance of him waking up. I can't leave him. I don't want him to wake up to a world where there's no one there for him. He has no family outside of my parents and I. And my parents, I know that they care about him, but they have already moved on. So it really does feel like it's just me. I just wish he was here to tell me what I should do. He always had the answers to everything. And it's like he knew me better than I even knew myself sometimes. He would know what to do about this and the threats, but without him, I'm just lost. I know that I need to move on. I know, but I can't just... He didn't abandon me after the attack when I was young, and even though I barely remember those days, I know he stuck by my side throughout all of it. So I have to do the same for him. Even if I feel lost, I just need to remember what he taught me. I have to. It's all I have right now. Sorry. I think now is probably a good place to stop. I will most likely be speaking about June in the next episode, and hopefully I will have no new threats or incidents to share with you all. But anyways, thank you for listening. Be safe, and good night.
Action Play audio file recording 8.wave has been completed. Please enter next action into prompt. End session. Ending session now. Thank you for using the post 2 frequency system, user Canis Rue.